Howdy, 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 folks. Good Friday to you. Me and AR are just hanging out here and seeing what everyone's up to. What are you up to, AR?
I've been trying to wash my house today. I got me a sofa, got it put in there a little while ago, a few hours ago. Got that done, and I was hoping this week to load some, put some. We'll go back to that, priming some 223 brass, but it didn't work out so well. So I'm
Yeah,
just going.
I
Oh,
talked to Lee and they told me, yeah, that's a no go unless you're using a O press or some. They do not recommend you use that even in their Lee turret press. They say because the way it pivots a little bit, they
mm-hmm,
say that it'll bend that stem in the collet and
mm-hmm,
make it out of whack. They say it's made for basically their C press
mm-hmm.
that has no priming system on it,
Right.
and that's why they designed that. That's basically a straight
Mm-hmm.
up and down shoot with no flex.
I did try it in the Big Boss, but it kept, believe it or not, kept pulling the pin out and sticking it up in the tool. Yeah, in the screw-in thing. And I
No
actually remember,
kidding.
yeah, I remember I thought I lost a pin. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember me telling you about that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was, yeah, I got cleared out the area. I got magnets down there, man. And all of a sudden, I think, well, I'm gonna look in the little screw-in thing, the primer system. Put my finger up there, and there it was. So I'm just gonna. I think I'm gonna buy that primer you got, that Lee bench
Yeah.
primer, hmm and get a few backup, plastic parts.
Plastic parts for it, yeah.
hmm And
Kingpin, what's going on, brother?
yeah,
Andy 79Z28, welcome. Pony 47, what is going on, sir? Pony, I think we and you need to meet up and do some shooting over at the Wyoming Antelope Club if that's close to you, or if you go there, or we can do shoot straight.
hey Andy, hey, oh, was it one guy?
Oh, oh,
Says
what was that?
one guy. That's what I looks like. Yeah, ponies. Good to
Yeah,
see you, man. Good to see you, Andy. What's up, Kingpin? MK Joe. I guess that's how to pronounce it.
yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I hope you all had a good week. I'm ready for the weekend myself. I'm just burned out messing with this house. Past few this week, the entire week actually.
Yeah, houses can be like that. I've
Mm-hmm.
been messing with my yard for like a while, and I've got a lot more work to do. My wife has been emptying river rock off the side of our house where we're gonna just put grass down, seed the dirt, and get us some grass back there.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you don't have weeds growing up in there, and you don't have to go out there and spray pesticides or run a weed whacker.
Mm-hmm. I got a weed whacker. I don't use it often. There for a few years, I'd get the weed killer and kind of spray it around my. I got a slab home, and I just sprayed it around like the first inch of the foundation. And I hadn't used it this year because it just literally makes it muddy around the edge of the house. So I stopped doing that. And I am not sure what those are. Pony says. Hmm.
What did he say?
He's talking to you. Says at. I don't know what he says. Hey, Andy, I'm trying to see what he says up above. Says, Echoes reloading chamber. I am not sure where
Oh,
those
okay,
are.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. I thought he was in Florida. I might be mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Thought he was near me or close to me.
Mhm. Gotcha. I just figured I'd get on here and talk. Maybe that'd relax me down. That's with his house. I said, oh gosh, I feel like I want to go to sleep. Just forget about everything for a while. Mm.
I thought you get up there and scrub them gutters out tonight
I
around
clean.
2:30.
Well, my I put it in a weed, a chem pump, the weed killer spray bot thing. You buy.
Hmm.
It went bad after probably about 6 years, which is I only paid like $15 for it. And I had to hand spray the gutters up there, and it was blowing back on me. So we had to go to the store. Time we went to the store and did all this. Then I had to get the sofa, picked it up from the store. My son-in-law had to come all the way from Commerce, Georgia, down here to get the sofa here for me. And got that put in the living room. I haven't had a sofa in 2 years. Total bachelor pad here, but now I finally got a sofa. I may sell it here too probably next spring, and put a higher quality one in there. And, I'm kind of funny. I don't like cheap sofas, so they don't sit good. Yeah, springs and all.
So what are we gonna do? What are you gonna be doing some reloading on AR next?
I might order. I'm not going to do anything to that until I order that primer system. It's just futile. Yeah. And I've got to also send back a die to Redding. I hadn't did. Oh, and I got to send I've almost got that thing specced out, man. I'm very close.
Are you serious?
Yeah. In most areas, I'm only 1/10 of a grain off. In one area, I was 1/2 a grain off with test weights. But it's not enough, so I called them back and I said, I'm just going to. I said, the person you got there, calibrating those scales, how long have they been with you? She said, she's been with us for years. I said, okay, I'll send it to you. So I'm going to send it back in, get calibrated. But I did, all it was, they put either 2 or 3 steel balls in there. It should not have been in there. That's what the problem was with it.
Yeah, I have no idea. They told me it was fixed, and then when I asked them, I kept asking them, well, I can't get it to level out.
Mm-hmm.
And the one guy finally asked me, he was like, well, how are you doing it? And I'm like, well, I'm doing my best. And he goes, what do you mean you're doing your best? And I'm like, well, I've got limited sight. And he's like, well, there's the problem. He goes, you got to have really good sight to put the blade into the little notches on that scale to get it to level. And I tried dude, I had him on the phone for at least 30 minutes. Jeez. And I was on a hangout with a couple other reloading guys and had it live where they could see what I was doing. And they were like, dude, you're doing exactly what he's saying. And I'm like, are you sure? Is it in there? And I was trying to get it level. And then he's like, listen, we had 3 different techs look at that scale. And I'm like, well, I guess I just can't do it. And I was like, and I just took their word for it and put it in the box. That's why I kept it, and didn't just throw it out. I was like, I'll keep this and I'll give this to somebody that can use it. And then when I gave it to you, I figured, you could be able to figure it out and use it. And then, when you told me the same thing, that just made me pissed, because that means that they didn't even look at it.
I hate to say it, they BS'd you, and I hate the company doing that, and I won't get into it on here. So,
yeah,
but, yeah. Once I pulled, I still got the lead balls. I can actually show them to you. They put little disc in there too, and they cut them like in half, like little quarters, almost looks like a pie.
Oh, so it's basically they're balancing it out with weights that they use, right, like different little pieces of metal or whatever it's made out of, lead or.
Right. Yeah, they got little tiny bead balls. I probably ain't gonna be able to show you though. Yeah, there they are in my hand. That's 2 of them.
Yeah. Oh wow, those are small.
Yeah, and then they got little flat disc about the size of a lead pencil round, and they got some of those cut in half. I actually put some tiny ones I had in there and got it very close. I'm at almost, but not. I'm anal too, OCD, and I wanted it. I don't even want it to be 1/10 of a grain off, because that's and I backed it up with my RCBS 1500 scale, and some of my test weights are 1/10 off over, and I know
Right.
I got them marked, and so I put it on there, and sure enough, it was close, and I just said, nah. I thought for a minute I might run with it. And I said, nope, I'm gonna send it back and let them do it. They got all the little discs there. They can clip and to test weights, and they can get it dead on. So I'm gonna let them do it. It's a nice scale. It's just somehow I suspect whoever assembled that at the calibration table accidentally dropped a couple of 3 balls in there. But
Yeah, I have no idea.
you know
I,
what's
I
what?
just figured I couldn't get it to work.
Well, what gets me about them, when I think about it, I'm not going to put them down, but they should have. There's no way you could not know that's done. That happened. Yeah, I mean, you know it as soon as you try to, get it to balance out. You see what the problem is.
Oh, okay, Pony. You're in Indian County, Indian River
Well,
County. Yeah, yeah. I'm in Pinellas. I used to be in Orange when I grew up in Orlando. I was in Orange County, but now I'm in Pinellas. You're quite a ways from me. I think Indian River isn't that over near Fort Lauderdale, Miami Dade area. But so this is what I'm doing. For those out there that don't know, I got a Mech Marksman press.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mounted the thing up, and I'm going to show you guys. Throw this.
Did you order your riser yet?
Yeah, I ordered. Yeah, that's what I'm getting into.
Okay.
Okay, so I got this press. Can you see that right there?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, so I got this press, and I love it. Here to tell you, the finish, I have to give it a B- because it does have some scratches in it, but that means really nothing to me because the ram in this press, they custom fit them to each cast iron molding. So each ram is oversized, and they grind them down to fit each press, and it's as smooth as glass. And this thing, when it's all the way up and it doesn't have a die in there, you can't move that thing for anything. And that's only with some G96 brake or G96 gun treatment on it. That's not a thick oil or anything on there. And basically, it's just smooth as glass.
Wow.
And but the press sits low. And I realized that they sell these presses with a mech stand, and the stand is about a good 6 or 7 inches. I'm not exactly sure how high the stand is, but I know that it raises it up. And when you look at this press compared to my press over here, my turret, you can see the turret is taller just from the way it sits there. It's higher up, and so is the O press down there from Lee. But so this press, what I'm going to do is I ordered from Inline Fabrication, which if you are looking to build a reloading bench or mount a press, I can't recommend highly enough that you go to Dan's website, Inline Fabrications, and purchase one of his mounting systems for your press. It will not only make it so that you can quickly change them from press to press, but these plates are hard steel and they're thick, so they reinforce like a wood topped. If you built a wood bench and it wasn't out of steel or something, you can literally, this reinforces it as long as you bolt it down to something strong underneath, like a 2x4 or 2x6 or something like that. You get it strength. But this thing that I ordered from him is basically going to go into this flush mount plate, and it's going to bolt in like my press does with its plate, and it's going to lock in. And then I use two quick wing nuts on each side, lock it in, and then my press will go on top of it and lock in just like it does into the base plate here. And it's going to extend it either 4 inches or 7.5 inches. I ordered both 7.5 and 4-inch plate risers, and I'm going to do a review on them for him as well. But it's going to bring this press up higher, and I think I'm going to enjoy that much more having the presses higher, so I'm not having to bend over as much or creak my back. And it will also kind of bring the press into me so that when I'm working, it'll be more like right in my face kind of working instead of me having to look down onto it. And plus, it's also going to make all of this linkage underneath this press and this press right here clear underneath, because it's going to bring them both up. I'm going to put one of them on this Lee turret, and I'm going to put the other one on my Marksman mech press right here. And we're going to run with it. They'll be here Monday, the 19th.
Did you buy the extension ones or the high-rise equipment, or the, you know what I'm talking about?
I just bought the ones that go on to these flush mounts that extended up.
Okay. I got a 7.5 here, which is, you know, I can't do anything to it. It's here. I can't take it like.
Yeah, it's bolted.
Yes.
And is the top just bolt? It just bolts your press to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no quick change plate on it or anything.
No, I have that. Yeah, it's just a 7.5, 7 3/4, something like that. I got it mounted in my bench, running to a stud, the front bolt, but it's there. It's always in my way. So
I see what you're saying. The actual extension part bolts down to the top of your press, to the bench.
Yeah, mine's the old-fashioned type, kind of like a ultra mount on a Dillon, except a little stronger.
Right.
So I'd like to get that one you're getting and put it there. I'm actually been thinking lately, you know what I'm gonna do? This bench is too high for me to sit. Problem is, if I lower it good enough to sit, these mounts aren't high enough for me to stand. So I'm gonna make me either some 2x12s or either some cabinet grade plywood, and I'm gonna build a box, and I'm gonna put my inline fabrication thing on it to be able to get it up to eye level to where I can work on it standing and sitting, you know, both. So right now it's just, this bench is way too high for me sitting in an office chair. If you'll notice, my arms stretched out like that instead of down here where it should be. So I dread that, because I got to go back there and I got a 2x6 to the wall. I got to undo that from the sheetrock, and then basically cut the legs off and shorten everything out. And fortunately, I got a damaged miter saw now, so I got to go buy maybe a Ryobi miter saw before I start that project. So when do you expect those in?
Monday they'll be here. Oh, look,
right.
Dinesh is here. Excuse me. And Uncle Jim's here. Uncle Jim, what's going on?
Alaska One, Gandy. Yeah, good to have you here.
Hey, Alaska One, what's going on, brother? Mm-hmm. Have you been doing any reloading, Alaska One?
Mm.
You get a damn water.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna send you a private chat for 1 second, Echo. I'm gonna ask you a question. Just curious. I don't see it. I just wondered if you. Did you get my private text?
Trying to see how to even look at them.
Okay, top left, right side, it'll say private, and then comments to the right. Click on the left, click on your private chat, and then you'll see That's how what they do when they come in a room too. It'll leave a message there. It'll
Yeah, I
have a little
know.
blue.
I've seen it before, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
see it
Really?
on
Hmm.
like when I'm in it. When I'm in a
Oh,
chat.
oh, it's covered up there. It's under the little fold down thing. I forgot. Look on the right side. It'll say probably private, little square blocks on the right side of the screen. I forgot. It is different. I haven't been on that side in a while, so I forgot about it. Me, I can actually see the word private chat and comments, but if I'm the host, I can't.
Yeah, it's
They're
hard
on,
for me because I'm blind as a
mhm,
bat.
mhm. They're on the right side, little squares. You'll have to probably have a private chat, comments, et cetera, et cetera.
Comments.
Hmm. Hang on, folks. I would have asked you, on the stream, but I didn't want to do it. I thought I'd ask you
Yeah.
background.
Hold on. Here we go. Sorry about that. Yes.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All
So, anyways, who's doing some reloading? Let's see here. What's Uncle Jim talking about?
I'm gonna go to the other side of YouTube and
Uncle Jim? What are you
also
talking about?
Vanessa showing privates. Is this a strip club? Hmm.
That's the private room. We got the private room now. What does this say? Oh, okay. That's what I'm having a problem. Little mentally slow here tonight, evidently. Uncle Jim. What is he showing? What are those little emojis he just showed? I can't make them out real well.
I see them, but I don't throw so many up there. I don't know them most of the time.
I you can tell when I'm an old fart because when I look at something like that, I see a little animal and it looks cute, and then there's
Mhm.
something to the right of it, and you're like, it's like I want to yell to my son, "Hey, come here and tell me what this means." You know what I'm saying? Because I remember my dad doing that to me.
We're gonna nickname Uncle Jim King of the Emojis. The gatekeeper.
He's figured them out. He's like, you wanna see privates? Oh lordy, lordy. Oh man. So is it cooling off at your house yet, Uncle Jim, or is it still getting warm during the days? I can't pull up emojis that fast. Hey, Lakeview Outdoors, what's going on? We got two Utahians. Is that the correct pluralization of Utahians, or is it?
I don't even see that.
What, you don't see Lakeview yet?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Sometimes you'll
Yeah,
have a delay.
I see him. Yeah. I'm going into my
U
Firefox browser.
Utahian, Utopian,
Gotcha.
Uto, Utonian. Oh, okay. You sound like something from a gladiator film, Uncle Jim.
Mhm. Mhm.
He's a Utonian.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Sound may hit you. Hold on. I do both sides. I do the
Utonian.
stream yard. I do the on Firefox. I do the YouTube side also. Okay. I don't know if the volume's off, so I have to wait. Nope, it's not. It will be in a second.
I do both sides. I do the sharp.
There you go. Sorry. I knew it was going to do that.
What are you doing?
I monitor it on both sides. You got Levin watching. I go to both the. I have one browser to go to YouTube, and I have one browser that I'm on the backside of.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, I got a subscriber that sent me in the mail a box with some brass in it, and basically he marked them with like I'm guessing, I haven't even I opened the box just to make sure, that it was packaged all right and I wasn't going to have an issue, and he did a really good job packaging it. But he sent me brass that he's resized on his presses, and he's marked them with a colored Scripto pen. And he's a buddy of mine that I met from Highboy 76 Highboy's channel, and me and him have been talking on the phone for quite a few years now. And he basically sent me some brass that he resized with the same die, with the decapping ball taken out, the decapping ball assembly taken out of the die, and he resized some 308 brass. And he did like 2 pieces on each press, and then he marked those 2 pieces with a color. And then he's going to come on this next week, and we're going to go over, because he got a Mech Marksman press about a week before I did. And so he's got his all mounted up, and I've got mine all mounted up. And Monday I'm getting my pieces, and I'm going to do a video on the review of those 2 pieces on my bench and my press. And I'm going to have him come on, and we're going to do a show, and I'm going to do his take each color, and I'm going to run it on my Sinclair concentricity gauge. And I'm going to I'm going to have the camera filming the run out, and let everybody see, and then call off the color, and I'll write it down. And so it's going to be like a double blind concentricity comparison. And he's the only one that knows the colors. I'm running the test, and then I will give him the results, and then he'll know how good that die is and how good that die is in each one of his presses.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of curious to see what we come up with.
Yeah, I'm too.
What's Uncle Jim talking about? We got Jerry Parker in the house. Welcome, Jerry. Nice to see you, sir.
Rick's life I see it. Hey, bud.
Oh, Rick's here. Hey, Rick.
Hey, Jerry. Good to see you all. Oh, I got the swag, Rick. I like that stuff.
I need to send Rick a package on the 1st.
Hang on. Let me show you all. If I can find it. That's another story. I should have got it ready.
Where?
Oh, here it is. Handful of stuff I won off of Rick's channel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did he give you some stickers and stuff? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
M&P. Gun tube. I didn't know I had a button. Apparently I got a button.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A few other stickers. Gun. That sticker. And I like that. The eagle. It says United States of America. United States of America. Yeah, with the eagle. That's nice. Yeah. Cool stuff. Anyway, what you been doing all week, Echo? Because we haven't talked as much.
I have been just hanging out at the house and doing some stuff, around the yard and whatnot that I had to do.
Yeah,
Just
I cut grass the
basically,
other day.
I knew you had a bunch of stuff you were doing this week as well, because you had all the prepping to do and cleaning up on the house. So Rick still can't find small rifle primers. Yeah, I know.
They're not down here very much either.
And powder. Now the powder, Rick, is coming around.
Yep. I got mine a few months ago during the shortage. I have to brag. I almost didn't get it. I almost changed my mind. But I got the bad boy here. This is when it was hard to find.
What the heck is that?
H335. Good for 30.
Oh.
Never been opened.
Is that an 8-pounder?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like gold. That's like you're holding a thing of gold.
Mm-hmm. And I got this because High Boy talks about it a lot, and I hear it's good in 308. And so that's my first 2 8-pounders I've had.
What is that? What is that one?
That's tack. 8 pounds of tack.
Oh, yeah. It's good stuff. That Western.
Yes, that's good for 308 too.
Yeah.
30-30
do you have their reloading manual?
Yeah, I do. I didn't think I did, but I do. I got several of them actually.
Oh, okay.
I don't have I don't have the manual. I got the booklets, little small.
Yeah, if you need anything for 308, I've got the actual manual for that.
Okay.
For all their Western powders, the Ram Shot, the Varmint, they make quite a few now.
Mm-hmm. I paid a little more for that H335 than I wanted to, because the place I go to in Athens is a little on the high side. But I said, "Hey, I'm gonna do it anyway."
I don't mind spending the money if it's in a local shop, as long as they're not gouging.
Mm-hmm.
So how much is a 8-pounder with hazmat if you have it shipped to your house of the same kind? What just a guesstimate.
Hazmat and everything, probably about $230, $240.
And what'd you pay for it there with tax out the door?
$230 plus tax. So I don't remember the tax.
You got 7%.
Yeah.
So you're looking at you're still cheaper than what you pay for shipping and stuff. So that's not that bad.
Mm-hmm. I got the tack online for $159. But right before the COVID, right before the COVID, $159 plus at Powder Valley. I think I gave $180 something time hazmat and shipping. $189, $90, something like that. So not far from $200. But tack is pretty good too. It works great in 308. And I may end up getting a 30-30, so I got the 335, and I've used some of my rounds now are loaded with a 1-pounder H335. So it's pretty good ammo. I mean powder, not ammo.
Yeah.
It's a ball powder, but it's still good powder.
Yeah, Rick, we may have to do a swap. I'll send you a brick of pistol primers. I mean, I don't know how many you have, so I don't know what you carry as far as, what you say you have plenty of. A lot of guys will say 500 primers is plenty for what the amount they shoot, just because they don't shoot a lot,
Mm-hmm. That's something I've got to buy. Oh, when it comes available, I'm buying 5,000 to 10,000, at least 5,000 minimum of small rifle. And
yeah.
we'll keep that on hand. I regret not doing that.
Yeah, that's what I did. I bought 6,000 primers, small rifle. I actually have, if you count small rifle Magnum and the small rifle regular CCI small rifle, because I've got 6,000. 41s, and I've got 500 400s, or I think are just the small rifle, and then I've got 1,000 or so small rifle Magnums.
Yeah, I don't have. Well, I got about 2,000 small rifle primers CCI, 1,000 large rifle primers, and 1,000 brick of small Magnum primers, and I'm gonna load a 9mm with it, even though they're Magnum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the small magnums, they give me real good consistent burn because I use Starline Match 308 brass, and it's small rifle primer. So I load it with small rifle Magnum primers, and I get much more consistent standard deviation numbers in the single digits.
Right.
And I even get sometimes like 11, 10 on the max deviation. Oh, Jamie's here. What's happening? What's happening, fella? What is going on, sir? What are you up to?
Yeah, when it comes available, I'm gonna get it for sure.
Yeah, I think everybody's gonna be.
I could have bought them. I just sat around, kept waiting, and I knew things were going to start, get like this during the election, and I just held off. I didn't want to spend the money.
I just didn't have the money to spend. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, me too.
We just put a roof on the house, and what else did we do? Oh, and I just spent a bunch of money in the backyard getting rocks removed. Have a guy come out with a big truck and remove rocks. So it's been a little expensive for the last couple of months. So basically, I haven't, but this has been, I started the project in the backyard a year ago because I knew after the COVID thing hit, I was like, yeah, I better start doing something because I'm going to get bored. So I started doing that, and I just didn't have the money up till then. And as soon as things started breaking off, the prices started going so high that I wasn't gonna buy it. I just so happened to have a buddy of mine in Utah that hooked me up with a sweet deal. He came across 5,041 primers, and he's like, David, he's like, how many do you want? And I told him 2,000. He's like, dude, you better buy them all. And I'm like, are you serious? He's like, I would if I was you. And I'm like, okay. So I had him buy them all, and I freaking what is that? PayPal, is that all right? Yeah, PayPal'd him the money, and then he shipped them to me. But I was lucky because I had been waiting just like everybody else, and I would buy like 1,000, and I'd run them down to about 400. Then I'd buy another 1,000, because I did hunting ammunition. I really didn't do bulk 223. I mean, I would every once in a blue moon make a couple thousand rounds, but most of my ammunition was 100 rounds max. And that was if I was fire forming brass and, just getting ready to do some custom hand loads. And basically, it just started out to where you would load 100 rounds. So, you didn't need 5,000 primers, you may end up going bad in the humid conditions that I'm in. So I would buy 1,000 of each kind. And, when I got, about halfway down, I would order another batch. And then, all this happened. And lucky enough, my buddy told me, he's like, hey, something's going to happen here with these primers soon. So you need to get them. And he was checking all over. And I was like, and then it started getting me worried. So I was like, yeah, if you find something, give me a call. He gives me a call. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm over here and I found them. And I was like, all right, send them on. But that's what's good about YouTube, or not YouTube, I should say, because YouTube really doesn't have anything to do to it except give us a platform to talk to each other. But YouTube gets us in contact with people, so we can kind of talk to people across the entire United States and see when the primers come in and when powder comes in. You'll see it wave. It'll come into a distribution hub, and then it'll go out from there, and it'll start spreading. And people will tell you, oh, I'm getting, Varget just came on sale online at Hodgkin's Direct on their website. and then you know that they're going to ship some out to their head distributors, and they'll have, limited amounts. But so it gives you a couple of chances to purchase it. What's going on? Anybody saying anything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got 19 on Echo. That's good.
That's good. Yeah. Appreciate everybody coming by and hanging out tonight. Me and AR have just been hanging out doing some household stuff, but what I'm hoping to do is Monday is do a review on those products from Dan over at Inline Fab, and I'm hoping those things are going to be super nice, because I'm excited. I'm excited because Dan over there, he builds some quality products. He charges a fair price for some really well thought out and well made products.
Yeah.
And he's a small business guy. And what I think is funny is, I tell him this too when I talk to him on the phone. He's in Oregon. Okay. I'm in Southwest Florida. I'm about as far away from him as anyone can be.
Mm-hmm.
And I get his packages in 2 to 3 days, where I get other packages from other distributors, sometimes 7 days afterwards, after I've ordered it. He ships out within 2 days because he's slammed right now too. And he has the best shipping I've ever seen in anything. The way anybody that's ordered something from him will tell you one thing: the packaging that his product came to your house in was outstandingly done. He's OCD. His welds are clean. His product's powder coat is clean and well done. Even down to there's no tool marks on where he cuts stuff. It's just really nicely done. And basically, when it's not cheap stuff, but it's not ridiculously priced. You get what you pay for and then some. That's what I always tell people. It's reasonably priced for a really good product. And basically, I haven't had anybody ever tell me, I had a problem with it. And he even does custom stuff for people as well. So if you're interested in getting a custom mount made or something, he does that as well. But I just like to give him props because the quality of craftsmanship, he takes real pride in his work.
Try to be there, Rick. Catch your show.
Rick, what's Rick doing?
Catch you all later. Have a good one, Rick.
Yeah, have a good one, Rick. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
He's going to have a show tomorrow. I think he says tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, he does? Okay.
Yeah, his products, what I like about them, if you got a wooden bench, it'll take the flex out. If you press bobs around, if you got a fairly good sturdy bench, and once you mount it, it stabilizes that press better too. I mean, like right now, I could sit here. I mean, I could literally stand up here and push. It won't move.
Yeah.
I mean, it just literally won't move.
Yeah. That's why I see a lot of guys, they'll be doing their reloading on their YouTube. And the thing that gets me, and I know every one of you guys out there, Tin Man's here in the house. Hey, brother, what's going on, Tin Man?
Hey, Tin Man.
I know you guys know what I'm talking about. You'll see a guy pull down on his ram handle, and when he bottoms out that piece of brass that he's resizing up into the full length sizing die, you see that whole press body tilt back. Like it's floating. The whole press is floating, and I'm just like, oh man, that's not solidly mounted. And that was the one thing that I saw on a lot of guys press mounting. And I was like, you know what? When I do this, because I was talking to a buddy of mine at the time, and I was like, he was talking me into getting into it. And I was like, when I do this, I've got to have something that does not flex, does not move. That's going to be, something that I could put a transmission on and throw it on there and break it down. It's not going to do nothing. And that's when I was like, I'm going to have to do steel. But if wood is done right, if my dad was still alive, I probably would have done wood because it's cheaper. Well, it was cheaper. Now that's debatable. But the bottom line is my dad was a very good finish carpenter. And he could do cabinet work like nobody's business, and so I would have had him build me something.
3 things I found out when I first built my first bench was you don't really need to overbuild it like you think. You mount your stud or your 2x6, whatever you use, 2x4, to the wall, to your 16 on center. Use long deck screws, screw it into your wall. Build the bench, support both ends somehow, whether you do it through studs or to another wall, and use Dan's plates. You don't even have to go and screw your top down very much. Just maybe 3 or 4 places, and boom. I mean, you're solid as a rock. I could jump on this thing when I'm 200 pounds and it wouldn't even move.
Listen to this. This is hilarious, dude. Got $1,000 press on a $20 bench.
Yeah, it's a good one. I agree, too, man. I can't. Apparently, I must be OCD too, because when I see those presses flex, I can't work like that. It
bothers me.
I don't like doing it. I can't do it myself. I literally cannot load like that when it just wobbles.
I know. I'm like, if I just see that thing when they pull down on that, and I'm looking at that O. And I see that entire O or that top of the turret just flex over. I'm just like, I just want to leave the guy mail. Like, hey man, are you in Florida? I can stop by and help you reinforce that press real quick. I don't know. It's just that OCD.
But even if you got a sturdy bench, if you got 2 layers of 3/4 plywood, hardwood especially over pine, you pretty much probably won't flex. You'll still flex maybe just a little because wood's wood. But once you put Dan's plates on there and you bolt them down with washers on both sides, big washer, I go big, a little bit medium size, and then I do a lock nut. Jeez, man, nothing moves at that point. It just does good. So my bench is basically, like I said, they don't have that many screws. I could take this top off in just a few minutes.
Oh yeah, that's why I like that the way he does that it's unbeatable. I know I sound like a freaking inline fabrication commercial, but you know what? The guy does such good work, and I pay for everything. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I pay for all my stuff just like all you guys do. And I just want to, kind of help a fellow reloader, because he reloads as well. And he's builds a quality product for a fair price. And if I can pass some help along to someone building a reloading bench, then I would like to do that, so that they have the ability to, instead of having to spend money and then end up being disappointed, they can go right to something that's it's going to give them no problems and work and do what it's supposed to do right off the bat.
Tim Man says he's got the 20 on a $20 bench. Yeah. I paid a little bit too high for my plywood. I definitely did, even back before plywood went up. But I bit the bullet and worked on it for months and says, I'm going to get it anyway. I had them cut it. I didn't even do the cost saving, 24 inch. I just says, I want it 29 inches. And I bought 2 sheets. But it's smooth. It's cabinet grade oak. Not oak. It's birch. Excuse me. Birch.
Yeah.
Smooth as a baby's butt.
Yeah. Listen to what I did, dude. I went into I went into Home Depot and I seen they had this thing of now the birch plywood hardwood 3/4 inch, and it was like, it was a good chunk. It probably out of an 8-foot sheet, there was a good 5 foot by 5 foot by 4 foot. I mean, they had just cut a small part of it off, and they needed a small section of it and didn't apparently need the rest, but they paid for the entire sheet,
Dude.
So I was like, the guy was standing there and I was like, this is what I need for my bench. And I was getting light bulbs for my wife. And I was like, this is what I need for my bench. And I'm like, but how in the hell am I going to get this home? I don't have a pickup truck. And my wife is like, what are you trying to do? And I'm like, she's like, what are you doing? And I go, give me a hand with this. She helps me pick this piece of plywood up and carry it. They have those saws that you can ask them to cut. You ask the guy to cut. Well, I didn't want them to do it because every time they cut it, they screw it up. They don't cut it the right size. And this was going on top of a bench, and I'm OCD. So I had a tape measure on my side. I just go, I had my wife get on one side, and we set it down into the little trough and leaned it up against there, and I measure it, and I set it's just a damn, basically a miter box saw. It's just in a rig that it goes long ways down the thing. And I lined up the blade, and I stuck the key. I held the button on the key, and I told my wife to hold this key down so I could run the saw as because it's got a thing where you got to put like a key in there and lock it so that you can use the saw. It'll stay powered. So she held the button while I ran the saw, and the guy comes running over. He's like, you're not supposed to be doing that. And I'm like, what? Do what? I'm just slicing a small piece of wood off. And he's like, I'm like, this is not brand new. This is out of the used wood section. And I'm like, look, there's the tag right on it. It's used. And he's like, yeah, you're not supposed to be running the saw though. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I just thought we were supposed to, do it. But anyways, I ended up getting a really expensive piece of wood for like $7. And I was, so I was really happy.
Yeah, they actually cut my wood wrong, and I made them get another sheet and cut it at Home Depot. I said, I want it accurate. I don't want it 1/8 of an inch off. And,
yeah, they've got those signs up now because of people like you and me. You know what I'm talking about? What does it say? May not be accurate within a like a half an inch. I'm like, why would you even have it cut? If you were going to be a half inch off, I might as well just use a damn, one of those saw blade. What are the old wood saws that you could buy that my dad used to use?
Handheld saw.
Yeah, the handheld saws. I'm like, dude, why wouldn't I just use that? I'm like, come on.
I mean, if that's all they can guarantee, they won't be cutting my wood. I mean, that's way off.
Yeah, that's a horrible thing. That's because they don't have nobody with any kind of decent skill level. It used to be Home Depot was one of the places that actually you could go back in the 90s, and they hired on guys that were retired from their career in construction, so that if you went into the flooring department, you would actually be talking to a guy that was a contractor and did flooring, tile, did all kinds of stuff, and he worked in that department, and he could give you honest to God, true life experience on how to do something, and now they don't do that, because what happened was these guys were making more than some of the managers of the Home Depots because of their experience. They paid them, on their experience level. And you talk about a journeyman contractor, and even the paint department, they had painters that had 20, 25 years of painting, and they would basically, and they were great, because if you ever had to have someone mix paint, who better not to have it mix it for you than somebody that's used it and can actually tell you what type of paint to use. Like nowadays, go into a Home Depot and ask one of those guys, how to do something. What type of paint do I want to use if I'm painting over an oil? See if they know if they know you to use Celts. I'm like, I guarantee you they'll look at you like, you need to clean the oil off there. I'm like, yeah, good luck after 30 years of a gasoline or diesel motor or kerosene motor running against a concrete wall. Good luck painting over that with oil-based paint.
Yeah, they hired good people at one time, decades ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Well, I know why. It's the cost. It's much cheaper to pay someone that can stock shelves and not have to answer any questions.
Welcome, William Ganley.
So what I'm thinking,
Andy's back.
Andy's back. Is Willie? William is here. Yeah. Have you talked to Willie?
No. I've seen a few of his videos, but I haven't spoken to him.
Yeah, I've seen his video too.
Oh, wait a minute. The other night he asked me I wanted to join Hangouts, and I had to get to bed early. I was going to try to make it to the doctor, and I didn't. I told him maybe.
I think that's the last. I think I hung out with him in Hangouts one night. I just don't. I don't remember. My brain is gone to just like mush over the years.
Yeah, that's the last time I spoke to him in a text. I said I got to get up early. I got a van being worked on now. It's in a shop.
What do you haven't done?
Brand new. Bought a brand new Bosch alternator and serpentine belt installed, and it's a Chevy 2000. So you basically have to undo the motor support and put a harness around it and pull the motor back out from under the firewall just to put an alternator on it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, nightmare. That's why I didn't do it.
Well, at least they used a good alternator so that you don't have to do it that much.
I did. I bought it. I went to Parts Geek and bought a $200 one.
Yeah.
125 amp. And I also took it to Advanced Auto Parts and had it tested to make sure it was good out of the box. And,
yeah, $200. Yeah, because I mean, that's expensive job right there.
I was going to get them to put plugs in. I can't even put the plugs in on this thing. I said, right now it's running, so I said I'll just get back with you on the plugs. I think it's like $180 labor just to put the plugs in on this van. This is a horrible van.
Even with him having to pull the motor back like that to do the.
That's what they were going to charge me. I thought that was a little high too. That's why I decided to wait. So,
I mean, I could see if they weren't going to, if they weren't having to pull the motor back for anything else. But usually what they'll do is they'll tell you, hey, while we're in there, why we got the motor pulled back, why don't we do the plugs? And I'll charge you what I normally would charge you is this, but I'll charge you this since we're already going to have the motor pulled back where I can reach them.
I may call him Monday and tell him to do that. See if they'll cut me a price break there on the labor.
Yeah, it's time. Look, man, I'm just trying to be fair.
Initially they wouldn't do it. They said 180 extra. And I said, no, I'll wait. But I probably wouldn't hurt if I had a distributor cap. And the wire's probably okay. They're probably original though. 175,000 on the van.
You need to do a set of wires. 175. They're gone. Those wires are gone.
So I'm probably gonna do it all. If they don't do it this time, I'm gonna do it probably next year or every few months. Get it done. I don't drive it that much. I'm working. I talked to them today about taking my engine out of my vet. Also, a little too high, but that's the way labor is high now, so not much I can do about it.
Yeah.
They said they'd remove it for $1,500 or something and reinstall it. And I said, I'll take it to a machine shop in Snellville and have it rebuilt by a machine shop. And I said, okay, let me think about it. So, I hate it because I could, a few years ago, I could pull my own V8 engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just getting to the point my age and health. It's not the same.
Yeah. I mean, I could do it if I had someone there as a set of eyes to help me. I could just ask them,
Right.
when the only thing I got to be worried about is when I'm running the air impact and I'm bringing that tranny and engine forward. I need to know how much clearance I have because I can't have no depth perception. So it would be a real pain, because you got to get it at that weird front of the engine up, but you can't get the tail of it down too low because then you'll drag the tail into the tranny. It's kind of like, you got to adjust one set of bolts, then you got to adjust the other set and then move it out a little bit, adjust it some more, move it out a little further, and, until you get it all the way clear.
I may still pull that motor. I hate the idea of paying somebody $1,500 to pull a motor and put it back in. That's a lot of money for me.
Especially on a car that's hood comes off that easily.
Yeah, he said it called for 5 hours. I know you can actually if you work fast, you can do it a lot faster than 5 hours.
Oh, yeah. Talk to some of those guys that work out of, what is that, East Los Angeles. They probably strip your car down to nothing within an hour. The only thing that'd be left is like the center bathtub. And everything else would be gone.
The only thing I need is really get me some Milwaukee battery tools to be able to do everything faster.
Yeah.
Once I get that set, and I think that's about $270. The one set with the screwdriver and a compact not compact, but the impact driver. Yeah. And then I got another set where it's like the automotive air tool, except it's airless. It has a 90-degree, 3/8. That's about $279 or $299. I can't remember now for a kit with that. And I think 2 batteries with it. If I lean over a car, I want to do it quick. Disconnect everything.
Yeah.
There's Willie. What's up, Willie?
What is going on, Willie? I was going to send you a link. Tin Man, you want a link? I think I've got Tin Man's.
William's here. William Gantley.
William Gantley. Let me see who I've got here in the what is this? Everybody's trying to get me to promote their ammunition. I'm like, they want me to. Guerrilla Ammunition has been talking to me for about a month now, and I'm just like, I'm not interested unless you want to give me ammunition to shoot on my channel, and no one wants to do that unless you've got like 1 million subscribers.
All right.
Hold on a second.
He's been at a doctor's appointment. Uncle John, you'll have to go to Nevada to a hooker ranch.
Let's see here.
I bought a couple of tables, galvanized 3x3. I can't remember the size, 2.5 foot. Somebody had welded them together, and I got a buffer on one side. I need to replace a buffing wheel. One side's got a wire brush, got a big old motor on it. I bought that thrift store the other day. I got see that, and what else I got out there? Oh, I got a little cart that looks like it got drawers at home made out of galvanized pipe that you can actually put tools in and walk around your car and work on it. Got it all for $14.99 each. They had a drill press that looked like from the good Lord 1940s, 50s. I didn't buy it because the motor cord was cut and I couldn't check. Most likely the motor was bad, but it was an antique drill press.
Oh, wow.
$25. I still felt like I should have bought it because the chuck was tight, no play in it. So now I got a little workbench and I got a way to grind and polish things on Whoever did just bought the galvanized pipe, welded it all together. On the ends, they put the pipe coupler where you could screw it in and out and balance it. One side's got wheels, one table's got wheels, and on the back side, it's just got the little turn things. So you take the coupler with the rubber cups on it, and you just turn the threads, and it balances out on your surface. Pretty good idea. And I'm going to put some rust reformer on it, and I'm going to spray paint it high temp black. Stop the surface rust. I had to get out of that. There's a thrift store here locally, a church organization. I had to get out of there. I've been spending too much money on small items. Had to replace two comforters. One comforter my dog chewed up, pissed me off a few weeks ago. Good God, that dog, man. I had that thing for 10 years, like expensive one. Matter of fact, I moved him away from the house. He's way out there now under the shrubs. So he's able to stay out of the sun. I won't let him dig around the edge of the house no more. I had to fill all those holes in. Looked horrible here. Yeah. You know how a pup, you tie him near the house. He wanted to be near the house that way because he felt like he was closer to us. He just dug 12-inch holes everywhere around my patio, man. Destroyed it. He got there with a shovel and level it out. My other dog did that. But now he's in the very, very backyard under some brush to keep cool.
Thrift stores a rule. Yeah, I have found some cool stuff in thrift stores before.
Mm-hmm. Had one table there, a little homemade one with a lot bigger galvanized pipe. It had looked like a pipe wrench cutter or a pipe wrench vise on it or something. I can't remember. And another guy bought it. He said, "You didn't get this?" He went over and when we were looking at it, I took the bottom ticket off and took it in. He comes in with the top ticket. Going, "Here you go." And they go, "Sorry, you can't get that. This guy here tore the bottom ticket off. That's what you're supposed to do." And I says, "I was there first."
Huh.
I'll take a picture and show them to you. Whoever made them, though, worked out perfect for little benches. I got another thing on the side that's got for I can put two stones, a fine one or whatever I want to. It's just sitting there mounted with no way to even hook it to a motor. It's like they just stuck it on there to maybe get rid of it. It's got a shaft too, like a shield. And,
that sounds crazy.
Mm-hmm. I've been wanting a buffer for quite a while, grinder like that. So, and it will run too. Right now, I got a wire brush and a worn out buffer on it. I'm gonna go to Harbor Freight and get one of the new ones, the buffer part, the cloth, buffer. And,
now it's a chat.
How's Leon recovering? Okay.
Yeah, I've been wondering about Leon myself. How's Leon doing, Jim? Hopefully he's doing good.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about him.
Yeah, there is, Willie. Posers. I ran into them.
Posers?
Yeah, talking about posers, gunsmiths. A lot of gunsmiths out there that's not quite as up to snuff as they should be. I've ran into it, even here in Georgia, GA. It's a craft. The longer you're in it, I guess the more some people learn. The more they are, the less they know.
The problem is, a lot of people like to call themselves gunsmiths when they're not. If you're a true licensed gunsmith, you actually have gone to school. Now, I don't know how many schools they have nowadays, but I know back in the time that I was working in gun shops before I was, drove tow trucks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 gunsmith schools in the United States, and there was only 2. And if you were a gunsmith licensed, you had to go to one or the other. And I mean, it was a real school. They taught you everything from to making stocks to putting barrels on rifles, everything. It was part woodworking. It was part machinist. It was part like hand craftsman, and then it was like part cottage industry, and it was all blended into this big place of 2 sites you could go to. And I can't remember now because it's been over 35 years, but of where these guys, but this guy Todd and this guy Fred, they both had been to one of those schools, and they worked at this one location that I worked at, and they taught me a bunch of stuff. Just like old guys do. They'll give you something horrible to do, and they'll just like tackle this and then come back and talk to me. And after 3 hours and you're covered from head to toe in grease and like in carbon, they're like, you want to know how to do that a little easier? That's when they'll tell you how to actually give you little hints after you've been doing it, busting your ass for 3 hours, working at something, and you're about to just pull your teeth out.
Oh, I was at Sam's Club, not to change the subject. I was at Sam's Club the other day. They have a ton of 1080p cameras for $64.something plus tax. Logitech. Shelf full. Almost bought one.
How much?
$64.99.
Good deal.
That's basically wholesale compared to Amazon. I started to get a second one, but money being tight, I waited. I was wanting to do what you do, maybe put one cam on the press and then switch back and forth in the software. I've still got to get together and get me a good mic ordered. I've got mics picked out, but good Lord.
Yeah.
Dynamic mic by itself is $289 when I'm looking at.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
I can get a pretty good one probably for $99. Like a Shure Dynamic.
You're not going to be happy with that $99 mic. You're going to be like, I own a Corvette. I have to have the $299.
Good thing though, I can on the soundboard I can actually change the bass, manually. I don't have to worry about the software, and I do get software with it. Apparently, especially a Behringer PA system. I'll be able to hook it up USB.
Does it come with? Oh my gosh, my wife's trying to kill me.
Does it come with what? What were you gonna say?
Oh, does it come with what type of software? Does it come with its own software, or is it a software that how? Okay, I'm kind of stupid when it comes to computer stuff. So the only thing I can reference it to is like AutoCAD. Like you can get a CNC machine and it'll run off of AutoCAD, but AutoCAD is made by a different. AutoCAD is made by the company that makes AutoCAD. It's just uses that system to do what it does. I guess kind of like Windows.
That system don't really need software. The one I'm getting, that's why I like it. But I forget what programs I'll be able to download with it. Several programs. I'll have to look it up and I'll let you know on it. I'm kind of worried about buying Behringer boards because they say the capacitors and everything from China right now are junk. But some people say they're okay, and sometimes they have nothing but problems. But in Yamaha, they tend to run hot, of all things. Yamaha usually makes a good PA soundboard. But soundboards, I'm only spending $150 or $60 to $220 typically for a good audio board. But I'm just, doing a refi here. I'm trying to keep debt down. Plus, I got to knock out a wall. I got a wall torn down in here, not the wall, but the sheetrock off of it. So I got studs in between the kitchen and my living room. I got to take all that down and mud it up and Get some of that and get some mud. I got the old stipper brush yesterday, so I got to re-stipple that section I repair. So I'm basically turning my home into an open floor plan in the living room kitchen combo.
Yeah, well, you were talking about shooting porn for a while there in your house, so that ought to give the cameras enough room to back up.
No cams, as long as she looks good, but I won't shoot it. Only I'll see it.
I don't have a gauge. What is he talking about, Tin Man? But I don't have a gauge.
Let me see. Yeah, see, but I'm looking for a nice mic. Tin Man told me about a good microphone. Yeah, Tin Man's got one. I asked him about too. Yeah, you can get a good condenser mic, but I'm gonna tell you, if you get a good dynamic mic, I can sit here. Well, Echo can too, because he's got a dynamic mic in that thing. Believe it or not, most likely. And you can all background noise will be gone, all dog barking, everything. It'll only speak when you're right there upon it. Condenser mic will pick up every sound around you, everything, even a twerk, fart, you name it, it'll be there. That's what this is, a cheap mic.
Did you hear that?
You hear it?
Did you hear it?
Well,
Did you hear it?
No.
I just ripped one really loud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your mic's it's Logitech, but boy, you don't hear much background noise at all on them. That's what's good about them.
Well, this mic is a Blue Yeti, and Logitech, Logitech acquired Blue Yeti microphones, and Blue Yeti's always had a pretty good microphone as far as not spending up $1,000. You could get one for I think under $200. And my wife just brought me in a cappuccino, and I'm sipping on it.
I had the microphone. I had the microphone, the headset Echo's got, but I could not get Logitech to overcome the obstacle of installing it in my PC. So I returned it.
His PC requires specialized installation where you have to use your hands to install software. It doesn't actually load. They're like, what do you need? And he's like, I need the micro fishes, the little fishes. They swim around. I put them in the goldfish bowl on top of the tower, and they swim around, and if we can make my software work.
They got some good stuff. The only thing I find their technical support is sorely lacking.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, have you not talked to any company's tech service lately?
They're all stupid. Yeah,
it's all out of India. And here's the funny thing. I don't have anything against Indian people, but this is why the companies all do it. And I've had more than one company guy, big company, tell me this. They can have call centers here in the United States and pay relatively the same amount of money. Because they don't have to have the whole system hooked up over there and all this stuff. They could pay a relatively the same amount of money. But the problem is, within a year, they'll have 6 to 8 sexual lawsuits, and they don't get that out of India. And basically, that the problem that they're having with people taking advantage of this being able to sue people for the stupidest thing at companies nowadays. That's why companies have these policies that have you can't even look at another employee for more than some policy companies have you sign a thing when you get hired that says that you can't even look at another employee for more than 3 seconds without looking away. They have these policies that are just ridiculous to keep them from even remotely setting them up for a lawsuit. I don't think I could work like that. When I used to work, I used to talk to women like a man would talk to a woman because I was, I drove tow trucks. I was freaking an alpha male. I'm not some. I didn't blow bubbles for a living at an amusement park. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would talk to women, but I'd always just show respect. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but I was a male. They're a female, but I would not disrespect anyone.
Right.
But the bottom line is, I'm not gonna like change my entire personality. Is what I'm getting at, so that I'm politically correct, so that I don't offend someone. I'm like, I
Yeah.
offend a lot of people. I don't give a fuck. Come on.
Yeah, I got a while back. I got a borescope that use with your phone tablet. Problem is, it wouldn't hook up to only one of my phones, my new one. And then when she said she was going to get tech support to on Amazon to get back with me to be able to view it through my PC, they never did. Even when I called back, I said, "Where's your tech support?" "We'll get back with you." Never did. So the
Oh,
only
no kidding.
yeah.
What borescope? Because
I've got
there's a couple of them that some of the guys on YouTube have used,
I've got some
and
of the ones they use.
now are they good? Because some of these guys have showed pictures that look pretty damn good. I've got a
Yeah.
Lyman Borecam,
Okay.
and does it work? Yeah. Is it decent? The actual camera that the problem is the camera that they give you to monitor the actual picture is really low quality,
That's what I thought.
so
Mhm.
you're getting what you pay for.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is I can use it and look inside a bore, and I can look to see a gas port, and there's an issue going on.
Oh, they were good. They treated me good. They even sent me a Wi-Fi adapter, like $40 Wi-Fi adapter, free for Windows. Didn't charge me a penny for it. But the only way I can hook it up is take my case off my phone here, so I can get to the connector, hook it up, and I can go in a barrel and I can see it really good. It's got good quality. It's the same one that Elster's Rifles and Reloading uses. He gave $50. I think I got it on sale for $32, I think. So it does work. It just won't work with Windows PC. They can't get it to work. So it seems since Windows 10 come along, I mentioned this the other day. Windows 10, even though it works, it's really funky with software. I got a lot of software back there you can't even run anymore on Windows 10.
What is this? What is Uncle Jim? What are you talking about? You wish you could get Foxtrot triggers? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be able to do that? They don't sell them unless you buy a complete lower, I'm guessing. They don't sell like the parts kits they use. What is this?
What do you got, Uncle Jim? A 2-stage trigger?
I think they are a 2-stage on those
I like 2-stage.
triggers. I prefer a single, but I mean, I have used both and like them both. As long as it's a quality trigger, I could really, if it's good, it's good. If it sucks, it sucks. It doesn't really matter who makes it. I'm just like, yeah, I like it, or yeah.
Palmetto State's got a nickel boron 2-stage. It's similar to the specs of Geisley. I think it's $100. I was thinking about trying that. I'm putting that into my AR-15. But yeah, I like both too, single and deal. On the boat, I like deal stage on a boat. 2-stage to me are better.
What is this one right here? Or find who made them. Perfect for everything.
I like Trigger Tech too, but they're high tech, but they're expensive.
You know what I like?
Yeah, the 2-stage has been out of stock. Yeah. What are you trying to get? A Geisley, Uncle Jim?
No, he's trying to get
just a generic 2-stage.
No, I think he's wanting a Foxtrot mic. The same company that that makes his he bought a couple of lower receivers and a couple of uppers. He built a 9mm Foxtrot Mike, I believe. Foxtrot Mike. I think I'm saying it right. If I'm killing it, excuse me. But he built a 45 auto out of it. It's kind of it's an AR-15 type platform pistol that they make. And they make the upper and lower for it, the barrel, the bolt assembly, and everything. And it's a super nice one. I've got a Rock River one that I basically had to completely rebuild because the way it came from Rock River, it was better off as a baseball bat than it was as a actual carbine.
I've heard some good things about their two-stage at times over the years.
About what?
Rock River? Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about their actual carbine, not the two-stage.
Okay.
The trigger that came in this had an 11.6 pound trigger.
Whoa.
And on a 9mm carbine, and it was $1,100. And my buddy had it for sale at his shop, and I'm like, it'd been there like over 3 months, and I'm like, dude, you're never gonna sell that thing. And he's like, I know. If I'd known it would have had a trigger like that in it, I would have never ordered it. And I was like, because I did a lot of his work for him, and I also ordered hand guards for him and parts and stuff like that to keep his store stocked with stuff for AR-15s. And so I told him, I was like, just sell me that gun for what you got into it. So he cut me a deal on it. He sold it to me for what he had into it, plus like $25 so he could just clear something on it. And I took it. And the first thing I did was I took it home and tore the entire gun apart. I took the barrel off of it. I took the bolt assembly out of it. I took the buffer tube, a receiver extension tube, aka buffer tube, off the back of it. It had a commercial buffer tube. I threw that in the garbage. I put a mil spec buffer tube assembly on there. I put a stock on there, changed the grip, threw the old grip in the garbage, took the old trigger out, basically replaced the hammer and the trigger spring. And hammer spring, and then sent the bolt to M60 Joe in Utah, in Colorado Springs, and M60 Joe ramped my bolt carrier and basically made it so that I could run a regular mil spec hammer without breaking the hammer. Basically what Colt had done years earlier, but it's a patent of Colt's, so Rock River couldn't copy it. But long story short, I did all that, put my own handguard on it, my own buffer tube and stock on it, did the work to the bolt, and did change the trigger out in it, and sights on it, and and ordered some more magazines from Brownells. And I probably have $900 into that rifle now, but I tell you what, it shoots really well. It shoots really well, and it's my wife likes to shoot it because it's a 9mm and it's not too loud and it doesn't hurt her. She doesn't like the AR-15s because of the concussion from them. So the 9mm is much better for that, and she's proficient with it. So, and a 9mm coming out of a 16-inch barrel. Let me tell you something. That's a mild 357 Magnum round.
Have you seen
Somebody stopping by. Let's see who this is. Who is it? Oh, it's Uncle Jimmy.
Who is the mystery guest today? Hey,
have you seen?
I just popped in to explain about the trigger. I do have Geissele SSAEs, and I love them. I love two-stage. They're just safer when you go light. Anyway, the Foxtrots, they haven't been in stock forever. I wish I knew where they sourced them or how they were. I don't know why they're not available, but you can get them for $75, and it's a hair heavier than the Geissele SSAEs, which are awesome. So
$75 is a deal.
170 versus 70. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what I wanted
exactly.
to say. I already have plenty of triggers, but I wish I could get a couple more.
Yeah.
So just wanted to say that. Hi, guys.
Hey, Uncle Jim. So what's been going on, man? Is it still hot? Is hotter than hell at work? You're
cooling down to high 80s, and yeah, got a little rain one night. That was good.
Well, let's hope it keeps continuing to cool down. Hopefully, now, didn't you say this was the hottest month of the year for you?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's your, like everybody else in here in the East Coast, is August.
Yeah, August will be a little cooler. You know, you'll get your breaks of rain and stuff. So, yeah, it's all good.
Mentioning AR-15 concussion, Aero Precision come out with a muzzle brake that's got a concussion sleeve, or it fits over the muzzle brake and helps stop that side concussion. I seen it a few weeks ago on their site.
Yeah, I've actually put a couple of Noveskis. That Noveski makes a muzzle device that is a basically, it's called the Pig.
Yeah, the blast diverter.
Yeah, and basically it looks a lot like an AK flash suppressor or muzzle device, because it's got a cone in there, and the cone goes down to a tube that goes up in there, and basically it lets the air expand without letting it come out to the sides. It all will come forward after it goes through a cone. And it's really kind of interesting how it works. And it's not a suppressor of any sort, even though it, you know, at first glances, you're like, how is that legal? And then you kind of, you're like, oh, okay, I see what it's doing. It's just basically redirecting the gas. It's not trying to cool it or, you know, or reduce it from leaking out. It's not like reducing the amount of exhaust or what is that? The exhaust gas. It's not cooling it or reducing it. It's just redirecting it.
Yeah. I have the little one with the holes on the outside, you know.
Yeah.
For the 9mm. And it actually works good. You know, it's not like a muzzle brake, but it definitely throws the noise that way. You know.
Yeah, I want to know, man, what's going on with the little red dot you got? I'm gonna order one of those, Jim. I've already told my wife, I'm like, listen, I've owned this pistol for 4 years and I have not had a red dot on it. I'm gonna get one to put on there.
Yeah, you can. That's the plain chain one. You can get the 507 has the option of like 2 MOA instead of 6, and then the circle and the dot, which a lot of people like. You get 3 apertures. There's different models, but the Ks are the small ones. I should have said that. Yeah.
So that's the model. It's a K.
Yeah, 407 and 507. Yeah, HS 407K is what I have. And then the 507 is going to have different options. But the K ones, I believe, are designated as the smaller ones than my bigger one.
Right.
They're
but the
tiny.
bigger one still fits on a pistol, right?
Yeah. I was trying to put one on a 1911 today without, you know, I don't have cuts. Just that mounts to the rear sight on a plate.
Oh, yeah, the dovetail?
Yeah, and you're only going to get another, you know, 1/4 inch sticking up or an 1/8 inch, whatever. But they don't. The problem with the Ks is they don't make plates for them yet. You know, there's not as they'll give you the CAD drawing or whatever, but they haven't caught up. They're making them for all the older ones, like my older sight, which is the same as the Trijicon. So that's easy. It fits on the same plate, but the new ones don't. They're smaller. So I asked my son to TIG weld. I had an old rear sight, TIG weld a bar on there, and we'll make one. And he's like, no, I got to clean the garage today. So, oh well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is so what you're saying is the 507 is the older one, and it has the same mounting plate as an RMR.
My 407C has the same mounting plate as the RMR, but these new Ks are skinnier and the holes are closer together, side to side. And then you have these pins, lugs, as an extra whatever strength or whatever. I don't have one on my lever. That's a homemade mount, and it never lost zero. But yeah, they got to catch up. So somebody out there with a mill could make a mint on eBay right now, doing them for all guns.
Yeah.
On the smaller one. The older ones, the bigger ones, the traditional RMR size, you can get them all day long cheap on eBay. There's Chinese, there's all kinds, and they'll adapt to anything. And you can get this ones that go into the dovetail of your rear sight, or the adapter plates if you have cuts in your slide. Make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's the pain about it, but it's a cute little bugger. Man, that thing is cool. So I tried, but it ain't going on a 1911 tonight.
Well, I'm sure your son will get a chance to do it and set it up. That'll be pretty cool. Putting that have you have that on your 1911.
Yeah, because that gun frustrates me because it doesn't have suppressor sights. So I'm shooting through the can. My sights are right up against the base of the can.
Yeah.
With that dot, it's going to be over that, and it's going to be sweet. And you got shake awake features, so you can put it next to the bed, whatever. Yeah. Yeah,
and the other thing is that is not going to make a difference because it's in that rear dovetail being a little elevated. Is the simple fact of the matter is, you're using a suppressor. And also, if you remember the old red dots we first used on 1911s that would mount down to the frame, and they were Tascos. And back in the late 80s, early 90s, they were frame mounted, and they sat quite a bit higher than the top of the slide, because you had the ejection port had to clear so that it wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? It would.
Yeah.
JH got a question for you, Echo.
Okay. I was just making fun with Tin Man there.
Now we got a 67 Rebel here too. Welcome.
Rebel. Hey, 67. What's going on, brother? Where's Jay?
Is this about the monitor thing? I couldn't find it. I think somebody took it out and moderated it coming out.
Echo, how are you feeling about the mech marksman? Oh, wow. Jamie, that press is amazing, brother. It really is. I have nothing bad to say about it. I mean, if you were nitpicking, I would say that it had a couple of nicks in it, but it can, as long as a press if it has a couple of nicks in it from, packaging and stuff like that, not a problem. As long as it works, and it works well, and this works exceptionally well. You can see it there in the photo. It looks pretty good to me. It's a couple little tiny spots that if I really wanted to, if I got OCD, I got a gloss black paint pen that you shake up, the old school paint pens, and I could touch it up. But I mean, I just want to reload ammunition with it.
That's common.
They fired their finish guys because people used to get them with chunks missing and everything, bad ones. And now it seems like yours was a lot better right out of the box.
Right. Yeah.
My Forester had a little gash in it, probably the way it was packaged. And I called Forester, and they gave me a little touch-up paint in a little container, and
Oh,
I
no
can't even
kidding.
tell it now. Yeah, and it looks good now. So they may have some touch-up paint. If you call them.
Yeah, I knew you'd like it because the guys that have the Max love it, and they do precision rifle, and it's smooth, and it's accurate. The stroke's a little long, but it's solid.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping that when me elevating it with that new product from Dan over there at Inline, it will make the stroke not be as like when I'm grabbing it, it'll be a higher reach up, but it will come down to a flatter level with my waist.
Yeah, the handle doesn't move up and down, does it?
No, it screws into the kind of like a an RCBS rock chucker handle does. It screws into the actuator,
Yeah.
and basically you have a lock nut on the very bottom of it, and you tighten that back up onto the against the base, and basically you rotate it over around to the right side if you're right-handed. You rotate it over to the left side if you're left-handed, and tighten up that nut on the bottom.
Yeah. Be right back, guys.
All right, brother.
Yeah, for a while there, someone was doing an awful paint. It wasn't sticking or something. It wasn't just shipping because the box would be perfect. But
Yeah.
there'd be chunks of, I don't know if it's a powder coat or what they're using.
Yeah, it's powder coat. I can tell. It's a gloss black powder coat. But what it looked like from the pictures I saw was it looked like they weren't the guys that were painting them were not doing prep work, any type of prep work.
Yeah,
they were
greasing it or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and basically when they do cast iron like this, they usually will use like a bee blaster, and they'll either use sand or they'll use some other type of glass, metal, or ceramic type of bead that they blast through it under high pressure, and to knock down all of the tool marks and anything like that, or the casting marks and whatnot.
Yeah,
and
aluminum oxide is what you use in a bead blast booth. If you're cerakoting coating and stuff, it'll stick a little better. But glass bead actually polishes, so it's shinier.
Yeah.
It's just got little divots, but it's shinier, so that's not good.
Yeah, the aluminum oxide. Yeah, I have used that before, cerakoting. I forgot what that was.
Booth. Yeah, he blued guns and stuff and finished guns, and he said, yeah, you can't use glass bead. It's great for bluing, but it's not for sticking.
Right, because it's not rough enough, doesn't give enough to bite.
Yeah.
So yeah, they weren't blasting the presses enough. And I was seeing pictures of where you could see like casting marks that were pretty bad, and I was like, it was almost sharp to your, like your skin could get caught on it. And I was like, yeah, well, that doesn't look good. And it was just basically the guys that in the department weren't prepping the product correctly. They weren't, then they were spraying on powder coat extra thick in areas to try to cover up casting marks and stuff, and then cooking it. And then powder coat is not metal. And if you make it so thick to level out a ridge in a casting, then once it gets dropped or moved inside of a box, you know how guys shipping packages are, it gets bumped around, that stuff pops off. And when it pops off, it takes a chunk of that powder coat with it.
Yeah.
And I know this because I used to powder coat my rims on my race bikes. I used to race crotch rockets when I was 19, and I had a couple of pretty badass motorcycles. And what we would do is we would take the rims off the motorcycle, and we would take the tires off and the bearings out of them, and the sprocket off of them, and the brakes off the front, and we would take them down to Correct Craft on Orange Avenue in Orlando. And I knew a friend of mine, Bobby Richardson. He worked down there as a powder coater, and he would powder coat all the barefoot poles and all the stuff. Like the I don't know what you'd call it, but it's the stuff that goes up on the Ski Nautiques and the Correct Crafts. That's like it looks like a roll cage around the driver's cockpit and the passenger, but it's where they tie their ropes to and they put their barefoot booms off of. It's like a trapeze of it. Like on a fishing boat, we would call it a center console, and it would be up top where we put our like our sonar and our radar and our fish finder equipment. But it would have all that in it, and basically he powder coated all that stuff. So we would take our rims down there and we would sandblast them and knock all the powder coat from the factory off, and then we would do some crazy color to match our paint scheme on our bikes, and he would cook them for us. And man, when it's done right, he told me, he's like, when it's done right, you could have a rock come up and hit this powder coat at 80 miles an hour going down the interstate, and it won't chip it. He goes, but it's not done correctly. He's like, literally, you can use a spray hose with just a spigot on there, and it'll find a little spot where there's a crack, and it'll peel it right off like it was just like old paint.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm back. My computer says needs to restart. Here we go for another update. I'm getting fed up with Windows updates.
I'm telling you, Windows, get away from it. Got away from it years ago.
Every time I turn around and get on live stream, I'm having an update, and I'm late. Used to, you had control over the updates, remember, in the old days? Not on Windows 10. You can put it off for, I think, 7 days.
Yeah, they only give you so many times to reschedule it before it's automatic. But if you go into the settings on Windows 10, you can actually, where it says updates, you can set it to never update unless you allow it.
I'm going to do it because I'm tired of them. I always want to do it when it's a bad time. Even now,
because right in the middle of a live stream or something.
I just updated it too before I come on. Last week it updated again. Updated then. It just never stops. I like the old days where you go in there and, if you wanted to download it and then decide to install it, or if you didn't want to download it, you could choose not to fool with it at all.
You can tell it to do it at night when you're not using it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now it just interferes with everything if you don't turn it, stop it. I'm not a big Windows 10 fan anymore. Like I once was on Windows.
And Windows.
I hope they improve Windows 11. It's coming out shortly.
I don't really.
No free update either.
The cool thing about Windows 10 was the last Windows I used was XP and XP and 98. So when it was like something new, everybody's like, yeah, we don't like the new Windows 10. It's got all this stuff that's harder to use, all this. It was completely just new to me anyways, because everything from XP and 98 was gone anyways.
See you, JH. Be there shortly, brother.
Oh, yeah. What time is it?
7:34. Okay. Got to wind down soon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait to get. I'll show this. I can't wait to get. I'm still excited over this. Thanks to Echo, I'm gonna get this thing calibrated at Reading. Brand new.
They better take care of you on that.
Yeah, they want to know where I bought it. I said that don't really matter. Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Well,
I was.
If if you got it used or something.
I told them it's brand new. I said, it's brand new, and I even took the serial number off of it. They're not going to sit there and trace nothing. They're going to get this thing fixed.
Wait a minute, it had a serial number on it?
On the box had one, yeah, and I took it off because they're not going to know. I'm not going to have them calling me and telling me I'm blind. I'll cuss them out. But we'll go there. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, you just tell him you want to talk to the head guy.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about asking for Robin Sharpless.
And let him know what I had to deal with.
Yeah, what I decided to do, just call them. It's mine. I bought it. Return it. Calibrate it free. They'll send it back. So, and I did ask them though on the thing. I says, "How long has your lady there been calibrating?" "A lot of years." I said, "Good. Then I'll send it." If it's just you, I'd say nope. Because I've about had enough of God, I hate to say it, calling customer service.
Yeah.
It's about drove me to batty last week.
And it's getting worse.
Yeah.
You know,
Here we are.
I thought when Trump was in office that we were going to get maybe a little bit of a break from all of the phone services going overseas.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And we did. It seemed like most of the time that a lot of them were not going overseas, but as soon as Biden went in office, it seems like all of them jumped ship.
Yeah, we need to reverse what's happening out there, but anyway.
I don't know if you kept up on news recently, but it's just there's no words for it. But
I know it gets word in America you can't even get tech support anymore because they're overseas, and they reading a cue card or something on a computer, and you be talking about one thing, they'll be thinking you're talking about something else.
Well,
you repeat yourself over and over and over.
I watched a thing on where they had done like one of those, like, what were they call it? Like 60 Minutes or whatever type of deal, investigation shows, where they went to a couple of these call centers, and they'll have 100 people in a building that we would have like 24, 25 people working in cubicles. And they're answering calls from pest companies all the way to security companies, and they've got these books, and they can open them up, and they're like big plastic pages, and they've got each company has a different color, and like you turn to this book to what company you're answering the phone for, a line will light up, and then they'll say, "Well, thank you for calling Vivint Security." And they'll turn to the Vivint thing and they'll start reading down. Like, so if you tell them you have this problem, they'll look up that problem and tell you how to fix it. But they have never even seen one of your security panels before. They've never seen a Vivint security system before. I mean, I'm just like, you know, how are you supposed to give me any help when you really don't know what you're talking about? Because no one had the decency to even show you the product that you're trying to explain to me. That's just, I mean,
I told a company the other day, a lady, I said, I said something about, I said, let's see if we can get this done. And I said, but I don't think you can help. And she says, you don't think I can help you? And I go, no, but we'll see. Guess what? She couldn't. And I guessed it. I said, we'll see if you can.
Thanks for calling. Please hold. Yeah. Hey, what's this? Oh, hey, Bulldog. Where's he at? Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog.
What's up, Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog? Good to see you. Hey, Jason. What's up, bud? The dog's out there yet. Can you hear that dog bark?
Yeah, I heard him bark. I hear him nibbling at something.
That's the problem with this mic.
He's like, that's the problem with this mic. Nothing wrong with the dog just out there in the backyard barking.
Not now.
I got
I'm
a
not.
mic. I got a mic. He's like, I got a mic problem.
I went out there, gave him a pat on the head, gave him some water, gave him some food. What it is, he knows it's an evening. I tie him up in there on the kitchen doorknob sometimes. He wants to lay in here. I might go get him here shortly. Tie him up on the doorknob. I can't let him loose the house. He'll chew my house down. If he chews my house down, I'll take him out and shoot him. I'm kidding, but don't think it didn't cross my mind. I'm trying to get rid of him in time. I want to try to get me an English chocolate lab. You know, he's a good dog. He's just got some bad habits. And I've got newspapers on his butt and everything, and he still don't do any good. He is what he is. Now he's quiet. I go get him, put him on the doorknob. At least he feels like he's near us. He's weird. I'll be sitting at the kitchen table. Even though he's mixed dog, he'll come over and he'll raise his paw up and try to tap me on the foot. Then he'll take his rear end and come over and try to sit like a little puppy and try to sit on my foot. And I go, I said, you doggone lap dog, you. I'm not used to that. My dog was independent, stubborn, smart as crap, and he never annoyed me. This dog here wants to cuddle with me. Come on. I go, get away. I don't want to say
Listen to you, dude. Yeah. You need to give that damn dog to a girl. That's a girl's dog.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I pet him, and I pay attention to him, but I don't need him sitting on my foot.
My cat sleeps on my chest, so I can't talk. She gets like when I go to sleep, I'll be watching videos, like YouTube videos or something. And listening, and my cat will come up on the top of the couch from her pedestal, which is at the end of the couch. Mm-hmm. She'll walk up on there and she'll get right up even with my chest, and she'll meow real quiet, and then I'll look up at her and I'll be like, okay, come here. Mm-hmm. She'll step down real easily onto my chest and make herself into a little ball and go to sleep there.
Mm-hmm. I used to have a tabby cat back in the 70s. It would fetch. You'd wad paper up and bring it back to
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 7:42.
All right. Well, we're going to wind it down, ladies and gentlemen, because Georgia Shooting Connection is coming on shortly. And I want everybody to go on over and check out JH586 and AR and all the fellas. Kyle, I don't know, Sharinda will be there, and Chico, but the whole gang over there at Georgia Shooting Connection. And I will see you guys Monday night. I will be doing another chat, and I will be covering the Mac Press and Inline Fabrication's new riser mounting system. So thanks for coming out. You guys want to say anything, Uncle Jim?
Nope. Enjoy, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Make sure you tune in to Uncle Jim's chat tomorrow night. It's 8 p.m. Eastern time and 6 p.m. Uncle Jim time.
Yeah, you all in the side chat, have a good one. See you on the flip side of probably Georgia Shooting Connection.
Yeah, thanks for coming by and hanging out, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. Everyone have a blessed weekend, and I hope to have some fun and do some shooting if you can. If not, some reloading. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for coming by.
Take care.